Hey everyone, I hope all is well and welcome back to The Last of Us Part 2 Lost Levels. This will be the final episode for the Lost Levels. We are going to be playing the Hunt. Um this either takes place at the end of The Last of Us Part 2 or um back when Joel and Tommy were alive and maybe Ellie was hunting. I don't know. We're going to find out. But let's get this started. I wish they would have put all the Lost levels in here. That'd have been cool.
For this third and final deleted level, what we call the boar hunt sequence, this was a sequence pretty late in the game. It was right after the whole Seattle Abby sequence where Abby spares Ellie. And then we wanted to come back into Ellie's story, but keep it a bit mysterious of how much time has passed, where is Ellie now? So we're coming in on Ellie and she's following a trail of blood. And we wanted to mirror in a way the deer hunt sequence from the first game, but this time do it with a boar. And there's something with Ellie that now she can't let go of this violence. She's pursuing it, even against this innocent animal. This was another opportunity to show how the violence that Ellie has experienced, the violence that she witnessed being afflicted onto Joel, is still sticking with her, and she's still experiencing these PTSD moments. This was a sequence that was pretty far along and was cut pretty late in production. Parts of it are still really rough, but the gameplay, the building blocks were all there. I think you'll have fun to see, again, a rough, unfinished sequence that you can play. You can see all the way to the end, and including a cinematic that we end up cutting. And the remnants of the sequence ended up being mentioned in Ellie's journal. So this part of the story that we developed still made its way into the game as kind of optional stuff that you could read about, but here you get to experience it. So as a reminder, this is pretty rough, months away from being finished, but you get to see it now.
Okay, so I was completely wrong on both ends. This takes place right after Ellie and Abby fight in the theater.
So the boar hunt was one of the hardest levels for me to work on. It was a huge challenge with the systems that we had, and we kept trying, but it never felt quite right. Originally, the level happened after the Jackson Festival, which also got cut, but before Farm. Once the festival got cut, it became the prologue to Farm. The intended experience is that we jump forward in time after the fight with Abby in the theater. We don't know where Dina is. We likely assume she's dead because she was just bleeding out. Ellie is alone. Her hair is short. So maybe this is the future or the present. And she's hunting. Hunting who? Abby still?
See, that's okay, so when I talk to people who can have a good debate or a civil conversation about this game, a lot of arguments that I hear time and time again is how the game just the way they tell the story, the way it all plays out in the game. I give it to them every time because I do think this game could have benefited with a different, more linear story, because there were a lot of things that were happening, a lot of variables moving that could get confusing at times. For the casual player, at least, if you're a dork like me and you're locked in and invested the whole time, then it's, whatever. But that kind of looks like a no, it doesn't. Never mind. Um, but yeah, so it is. It is a game where you kind of have to sit and think a little bit harder of the story because it likes to tell certain parts. Like you can be at the end of the game. I don't even see. That's the thing. I don't even know how to explain it. That's how kind of murky it is. So I'm gonna stop trying. Where do we go? But all in all, I still think this game is amazing. One of my favorites for sure.
There it is.
In early iterations of the fight, it was more arena-like. The player slowly whittles down the boar's health. Ellie gets more visceral and more vicious. We get a little worried about her. As the boar gets weaker, more panicked, more feral, and we start feeling sympathetic to the boar, was the hope. In all of these iterations, especially of these wider areas, it required custom AI and scripting to make sure it continued to feel organic as an animal, but we really needed it to do specific stuff. It needed to be able to close distances really, really quickly. It needed to charge to attack, but we wanted the feeling of hunting, so we needed to track it down from afar. And we also needed to discourage the player from attacking the boar when it's that close, or it would kind of turn into this melee kerfuffle. How do we do this in our world while keeping the boar believable?
I mean, if you fuck with a boar, you're gonna get pieced up, that's for sure. So maybe just only allow Ellie to get hit one time, and that makes her even more mad and makes it to where she wants to kill the animal even more, gets lost in her rage.
We must have gone
That
through
could have been
5 or 6 iterations of the boar fight and all, and every single time it changed pretty drastically. We split it into clear phases, where one was like all long range. We tried another where you're getting close and you get the jump on it quite literally. You're jumping off of a rock to attack it. And then finally, we tried a bunch where you almost sort of go around a bunch of trailers and try and wrestle it. We uncovered after some time that taking down a boar over several phases felt very laborious and a little dramatic. It was comically long, it felt too boss-like, a little too gamey. We decided to cut the first few phases, and we opted for a cold open after the boar had already been hurt off-screen. So that allowed us to focus on feeling like we're closing in on prey and to introduce the boar when it was at its most dangerous. Already hurt, already feral, much too close for comfort. And so the thinking was it would bring us more into Ellie's mindset. Is this really hunting for food, or is she hunting for some other reason?
Okay. I'm glad I kept this commentary on. It's adding a lot more information for sure.
The gas station was built to highlight the boar's destructiveness. Since it's cramped, the boar feels larger. We also feel trapped with it, though perhaps it's trapped with us. When it charges, it gets to us quickly, so we must be on our toes. This made it more aligned with Ellie's sort of hunting for trouble mindset. Listening became more important, as well as moving around slowly so it didn't hear you. Could you spot it before it saw or heard you? And could you get a shot off quickly enough so you could dodge out of the way? Or is the shot worth the cost after? It feels like a gamble. By the end of the fight, everything would likely be in shambles, the boar would burst through the back, and Ellie would follow it and finally enact revenge.
Okay. I can't see shit.
Shit, but I can hear it. Get out. Where is he? I hear him. No? Where you at, big guy?
Got you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get away from me. It's the Rat King, but it's Ellie edition. Serpentine! No way. Okay, hold up, hold up. Got you again. Uh-oh. I don't know why I'm looking around for shit.
The boar kill was supposed to be anything but glorious. With the boar whimpering at the back of the gas station after Ellie's relentless hunt. After this, hearing the drone that we kind of come to associate with Ellie's trauma, we would hard cut to the stream where she's washing her hands and holding rabbits that she hunted, about to return to Dina. And there would be no mention of the boar.
Oh, fuck. Yep. That gave me goosebumps. Alright. That's the end of these. Now I'm sad because there's nothing left or nothing new to play. Um, I could always play No Return, but I'm not into that. See how long you can survive sort of shindig. It's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, I don't know. I liked that last one, but I didn't. I don't know what I don't know. It just felt a little too dramatic in a sense. But at the same time, I see its purpose, and I think out of all three of them, if I were to choose one that would stay in the game, it would probably be Seattle Sewers, because I just like the whole idea of Ellie being in a confined space with a threat that she doesn't know if it's alive or not alive. So she's already freaked out, nervous about that, and then things happen, and then she sees Joel and PTSD. Plus, it would have happened in a part of the story where you're kind of lost in Ellie's revenge with her, and you don't really take time and stop to think like, oh, wait a minute, like, is what we're doing really the answer? Or, like, just something like that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. This will probably be the Last of Us video I upload for a long time. I really hope they make a third game. I know a lot of people don't want it. I know a lot of people did not like this game, and that's fine. Everyone's subjected to their own opinion. But for the people that do love this game for what it is and what they strive to create, it genuinely deserves a third game to at least finish out the story. I think it'll happen someday. I just don't think it'll happen anytime soon. But hopefully I live long enough to be able to witness it, experience it, and enjoy it. So, that being said, I'm going to end this episode here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching this. If you are watching this, I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, hopefully whenever you're watching this, you're having a fantastic day. And I hope to catch you guys in the next video. Until then.